If you own a Prius or you're thinking about buying one, these 5 common problems can kill your wallet. I know, because I live in one. For the past 4 years, this has been my home, and I've dealt with most of these. One repair alone cost me over $850. I'll also show you a free website I use to diagnose these issues at the end. Let's get into it. The Prius depends on its high-voltage hybrid battery, and like any battery, it won't last forever. When it starts failing, you'll usually get the infamous triangle of death, and the car can become nearly undrivable. A lot of these batteries start wearing out somewhere around 150,000 miles, though some fail sooner and some last longer. Once it goes, you've basically got 3 choices. Buy a brand new battery, go with a remanufactured one, or try replacing individual bad cells. The last option can work, but it's often a gamble, and none of this is cheap. Expect to pay around $3,000 or more for a new battery from a dealer, or roughly $1,200 to $2,500 for a remanufactured one. The Prius also relies on an inverter cooling system, and the inverter water pump is what keeps that system circulating coolant properly. If that pump fails, the inverter can start to overheat, which can trigger warning lights and, in some cases, cause the car to shut down. This is one of those problems that can sneak up on you because the symptoms are not always dramatic at first. Some owners notice a loss of power or an unusually noisy pump, while others may not realize anything is wrong until the car starts acting up. The good news is that this repair is usually a lot cheaper than a hybrid battery. But it's still not something you want to ignore because driving too long with a bad pump can lead to bigger problems. In most cases, expect to pay $400 to $600 to replace it. If it's the actual inverter that's faulty, then you're looking at a small fortune. $1,000 to $2,000 for a replacement is a good starting point. The next problem is excessive oil consumption, and this is one that can turn into a really expensive headache. Many Priuses start burning oil as they get older, especially at higher mileage. At first, it may not seem like a huge deal. You just notice the oil level dropping between changes. But if it gets bad enough and you don't stay on top of it, you could end up damaging the engine. In some cases, the issue comes from worn piston rings. In others, it can be tied to a failing head gasket or an engine that is simply wearing out. And once you get into that territory, repair costs can climb fast. You might get by for a while just adding oil, but if the problem gets worse, you could be looking at a major repair, or even a full engine replacement. Depending upon what failed, expect anything from a costly repair bill to several $1,000s. These are critical, and trust me, you don't want either of them going bad in extreme heat or cold. The blower motor drives the fan wheel to circulate air through the evaporator for cooling, or via the heater core for warming up the vehicle. The blower motor is a common failure point in Priuses, and you'll usually know pretty quickly when they're acting up. Telltale signs of a malfunctioning blower motor are no airflow or weak airflow coming out of the vents, squealing, rattling, or grinding noises from the dashboard area, and even a burning smell due to the motor or wiring overheating. In a nutshell, if you can't heat or cool your car, the problem is usually the blower motor itself or the blower motor resistor. Expect to pay about $300 to $500 depending on whether it's the blower motor or the resistor. This is your instrument cluster, and having it malfunction can be dangerous. With a non-working cluster, you can't monitor the speed you're driving, know how much gas you have in the tank, or how many miles are on the car. While you can operate a Prius with a bad instrument cluster, doing so long-term isn't recommended because of safety reasons. 90% of the time, the cause of a faulty cluster is a tiny capacitor on the circuit board that kind of looks like a watch battery. These become loose or die out over many years. The part only costs about $1 to buy, but it needs to be soldered to the circuit board of the combination meter. Worse, the entire dashboard needs to be removed and then reinstalled, which is a lot of work. This typically requires 2 to 3 hours of labor charges, which are costly. Expect to pay about $400 to $600 to have this issue fixed. So out of the 5 common problems that you just watched in the video, I've experienced them all over the past 4 years living in my car, except for having the hybrid battery die. Matter of fact, here is my recent towing bill. I had to have my car towed, $200 towing bill because my spark plugs burned out due to a burning oil problem. Here is the invoice from the mechanic for $150 to change my spark plugs. Again, they got burned out because they're being fouled. These are the problems with Priuses, folks. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a whiz when it comes to cars. One big site that helps me, has been tremendous to me. I can't say enough about this website. It has gotten me out of so many jams. It's called PriusChat.com. It's one of the largest forums online today, and it's specifically for Prius owners. And they have Prius owners that are members of this website. And boy, I gotta tell you, these guys and gals on this website are super duper helpful. You can go on there, you can create an account, you can explain to them the problem that you have, and 9 times out of 10, they will get you pretty close to finding out what the issue is. They are that good. Just because they're Prius owners themselves and they have a lot of experience and all of that. So they are excellent. So if you own a Prius, if you're having mechanical problems, repair issues, whatever it might be, do yourself a favor. It's free. I'm not making anything out of this. I'm not asking for any money. Go to PriusChat.com if you ever have a mechanical issue with your Prius. Go on there, ask the guys and gals for help, and like I said, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 times, they will pretty much get you very close to what the heart of the problem is. And if you have an OBD reader and you use ChatGPT, between those 3 things, Prius Chat, an OBD reader, and ChatGPT, even if you know nothing about cars like I do, folks, it's pretty easy nowadays to know what the problem is before going to a mechanic shop. And that's key, because if you walk into a mechanic shop blind, hey, this is my car, it's having a problem, I don't know what's wrong, guess what? Most mechanic shops are going to rob you blind. So Prius Chat for the win, check it out. I hope you love this video. Please, if you like the content, if it helped you out, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon in my next video.